In this video, I'm going to explain how to put some emblems back onto this tailgate. There's multiple letters to do. This tailgate was painted just recently. There's a couple things that if you're going to stick anything back to a body part of a vehicle, make sure it's clean. But I went through and I buffed it all out, cleaned it all up, made sure that the dirt was off, fingerprints are off, etc. I'm using 3M's tape. It's a 1/4 inch. Here's an example of just sticking it to the back of whatever you're adding. In this case, it's letters. The letters that I did have on here were like this. They were chrome. They were kind of small, like down here in the corner. And what I decided to go with was a different style letter. These letters came off of an earlier version of the same truck. I like them, so this process is a little bit custom, but it kind of will show you and explain the steps to go through if you're going to do this. Usually when they're done at the factory, they have templates and they have gauges. They slap things on. Here, it's all custom. So what I first did was I had this template laid out, marking each one of the letters on where it's going to go, spaced them all out accordingly, and then to help me out to do that, what I did was I just made like a little cardboard template so that between my R and my O, I have the same space. So the letters should be very well spaced out. We want to make sure that we have a straight line all the way across here. At least to get started, and then it's a little bit easier for each one of these. One thing to help me out with making sure that everything is straight and level is measuring up from the bottom to where I want to start. Also, I've used a kind of just a laser level to make sure and double check that from here to there at the end that I have this template 100% the best that I can. So when I go to stick these on, it's not as an angle. You don't step back and you kind of see, kind of like a wave across here as well. A couple other things on, cutting out the tape with this 1/4 inch and the size of the letters. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward and simple. Depending on your letter size, 3M does make, different sizes. Here is, kind of the measurements, right? So, from making, a mark here to start the F, the distance on this end is the same over on this end as well. And then each letter is marked, and this is how I made, kind of the next spacing between each letter is making sure that everything kind of aligns, right down between every single letter. What you want to try to do is maybe not stick everything all at once. Depending on the letter size, what you're working with, you may want to try to, make some adjustments. And so what you can do is you can take off the backing and just bend it up 90 degrees, just like that. When you're ready to go stick it, you can then pull this out from underneath. So that way you can make some of those fine adjustments and you don't have to fight with it being stuck all at once. That can be a real challenge. This stuff is really sticky, and you might have to warm it up or take some floss and cut through and remove the adhesive. And try to just put it down where I think I want it, kind of eye it, not push on it really hard at first, and then see if I like it with where it's at, and then remove the rest of these tabs off here. Pulling that back tab back off of there like that, and then pulling this one off as well from the bottom. I still have a little bit of adjustment I can do. If I want to move it up just a bit, I can do that. It's still a little bit flexible, but I like it right there, so I'm just going to go ahead and push that down. Now, depending on how quickly you go through this, doing all your letters, making sure that things are, the way that you want them, and then come back through and press those down a lot harder. So I'm going to kind of leave that one there as it is in case I want to do some fine refinements on it. But that's kind of pretty much the process for each one of these letters through here. So with that said, I'll go and do the rest of the letters. You see the letters right here. I haven't taken off the template quite yet. I want to do some minor adjustments, maybe to the T or the E down here. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to move the T over this way very far. I can just, tweak it a little bit and make some fine-tuned adjustments to it before I go and fully press down on the 3M tape to adhere it. Just make sure that you have a very clean surface when you go and do this. Make sure all the dust is removed. In my case, I did some buffing. If you do have to go and you want to do some paint correction, make sure that you do the paint correction before. It just would be very difficult to do any type of paint correction in here. I'd need a smaller little buffing wheel and whatnot, and to get around the letters, that'd be difficult to do. So if you have like a scratch going through here, you want to take care of the scratch first, so that you don't have to go back there and try to fiddle with that. So. But that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Easy, straightforward process. It's not difficult to do. Thanks.